They murdered children.
Yeah.
Pennywise. Awesome.
You're getting way too excited by kids being eaten, man. This guy is twisted.
What's crack-lacking? My name is Jonah. I'm joined here by Baron.
What's up?
To my right is Kent.
It's like crack-a-lacking. What up, y'all?
We welcome you to the first episode of Delirium Hour.
Delirium Hour. It's the first episode.
Whoop. And today we're talking about
Yes.
It, Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Hence the nose that just came off. But what's up?
It, Chapter 2 is directed by Muschietti.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie follows the first one 27 years later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what happens with sequels.
Yeah. I'm nervous. Okay, let's do this.
Like my co-host said, It Chapter 2 picks up after It Chapter 1. It's been 27 years. The kids are back. The losers are back. And they gotta make good on their blood pact because their old friend, old Pennywise, he's back too. And he's up to no good. So yeah, and you know, there's been a lot of hype surrounding this movie, specifically the casting. The kids are back, and they're a little bit older, you know, hence the 27 years, and their older incarnations are played by some big Hollywood names.
Yep.
We got James McAvoy as Bill Hader, we got Jessica Chastain as Beverly, Andy Bean as Stanley, Jay Ryan, who glowed the hell up, and he's playing Ben. Isaiah Mustafa. Oh yeah. Isaiah Mustafa as Mike, James Ransone as Eddie, and finally, the dancing clown himself, played by Bill Skarsgård. And he was phenomenal once again. So we're gonna segue into initial impressions and what we thought about the movie. Kind of like right after we watched it and everything. I guess I'll just go first. Yeah? Okay. So overall, I loved it. It Chapter 2 was, to me, a worthy sequel. It was not as scary as the first one, but still worthy in its own right. And I would argue that it's worth it all alone just to go to the theater and see Bill Skarsgård do his thing. Like Pennywise, the dancing clown. He's as charming as ever. His facial expressions, he's just such a good, scary clown, you know?
Dude, he's so amusing. I would love to have Pennywise just to hang out with.
Just to hang out with.
Dude, I think he's so funny.
Oh, bring him to your kid's birthday party. He'll be a showstopper. But yeah. Pennywise the dancing clown.
Well, my initial impressions, I think, it was definitely an adequate sequel. There were good parts and bad parts too. I honestly don't feel like it deserved the 2 hours and 45 minutes that it was. Like, there was a lot of subplots that could have been explored a lot better. There was a lot of character development that was there and like wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But all in all, definitely a really good sequel. Pennywise, definitely the showstopper. One of the best parts of the movie, for sure. Mm-hmm. And it for sure wasn't as scary as the first one. But they did do a lot of nice twists on the material that they were offered. And it's not exactly like the book, which was really refreshing. But a really good movie, good watch, good popcorn flick. But it's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, I kind of felt pretty much the same as these guys. It was really enjoyable. Like, if you liked Chapter 1, you're going to like this one as well. And man, it was super long. Like, I usually enjoy longer movies to add to the immersion, but man, I had to hold in my pee for like 3 hours.
Yeah, he was complaining about that the entire movie.
Yeah, like the beginning was cool. You're jumping back into it. The end, like, it's really thrilling, but the middle, like, they're just doing so much stuff.
Yeah. I remember like the climax was really good, but then the ending, oh man, like I thought the movie ended like at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
We didn't even say spoilers,
right?
huh? We should have said spoilers.
Oh, spoilers alert!
Yeah. Well, sorry, spoilers.
I think our
on the
videos
title
will
screen.
always have spoilers for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
I feel like we can all agree that a big kind of like drawback or con to the movie was that middle section, right?
Yeah.
Like we all had a problem with pacing and
it kind of felt. I mean, it was necessary to the plot, but it was kind of unnecessary to the viewers. Like, I don't know. It just felt like a completely different movie in the middle.
yeah, definitely.
Like the beginning picks up really well. Like it kind of jumps right into it, and then there's like a sense of urgency with the movie, like with Mike's character saying like, oh, we don't have that much time. He's back. We got to take care of this now. And then almost immediately, like all the characters are brought back into Derry to kind of face the problem. But then it just becomes like this completely different episode where they all have to venture off and find their own totems or artifacts, right?
Yeah.
Artifacts. And then like out of nowhere, like it just slows the movie down. Like it feels
It's like, here's one character doing this.
Yeah.
And then get it. Lead up to a scare.
Yeah.
And jump to the next character. Lead up to a scare. Jump to the next character.
So what you're saying is that it was super like formulaic in like the very middle.
In that way, but
it was like
I feel like there could have been a better way to keep the pace of the movie. Than to just kind of take a pause and split everyone up. Because like you said at one point when we were talking about this movie, you said the best parts were when they were all together, which is I think like one of the highest high points of the movie.
for sure.
Because when Bill Hader starts talking, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, Bill Hader was like definitely one of my favorite.
Probably the
parts
star of the movie for sure, next to Bill
man.
Skarsgård.
And that's a good segue into another like. I mean, it could be a negative for some people, but I kind of saw it as a positive. But this movie had a more comedic kind of, aspect to it with Bill Hader. I mean, he's a comedian, SNL alumni as Richie, and he killed it, like, in terms of comedy.
Yeah.
And everything. And Eddie, too. Like, they were just jokes left and right, back and forth. I remember the joke about they all get back together. And he's like, oh, do you remember Pennywise? You used to do that funny dance he was doing? That was great. And then he just had the entire, like, theater laughing, and it was cool.
The cast, like, their chemistry together is just so good.
Definitely.
Like, they really feel like the kids,
right?
Like, grown up, and they share that same chemistry.
Yeah, the casting was so good. Especially Eddie and Richie. I felt
definitely spot on.
Me. Yeah. And even James McAvoy did a good job with the stuttering.
Yeah.
He brought it back, but it wasn't so overly used because it was believable because he matured. He got older, right?
It kind of puts off the impression that like over time he's either gone to like classes or like he's worked on it and he's kind of developed. Like, I don't know. Well, one thing I noticed was before they bring up Pennywise again and they show like all of the adults in like their new lives. He never stuttered once. Like I don't remember hearing him stutter at all. And then when they bring back Pennywise and he gets scared again, the stutter comes back almost immediately.
Yeah. And that's cool because like the stuttering was so tied to his childhood.
Yeah. It's a huge part of character development.
Right. And he comes back to his childhood town. He kind of remembers the childhood trauma that he felt, and then the stutter naturally comes back, and you can totally see that in the movie. And that was a nice like decision dynamic that they pulled off or like explored in the movie. Yeah. Let's see. Yo, let's just talk about Pennywise though, cause come on, man, that guy is, oh man, Bill Skarsgård. He's a good clown. He's just such a good clown.
Dude, he is probably my favorite clown.
Oh,
it's hard to choose between Joker and Pennywise. Dude, I wish they would just have a movie like Pennywise and Joker. They would get along so well together.
But Joker would totally lose. There's no way he can. Actually, no.
Think about if they were friends. They would just like fuck shit up.
Yeah.
It's like laughing gas and like spiral legs everywhere.
Yeah, he must have had a ridiculously fun time being Pennywise.
Oh yeah, I
you know how they do those Bad in the Sun videos where like they do two comic book characters against each other? That'd be cool to see, like Joker versus Pennywise.
Like who's the top clown?
Yeah. Good idea for you guys out there. Okay. Yeah, because like this is the second outing with Pennywise, and I know there's like rumors and articles about like possibly in It Chapter 3. Well, not necessarily Chapter 3, but they're thinking about like possibly spinning off the movie so they can keep Pennywise in the fold. But I don't know where I was going with that.
I mean, I would be pretty excited for that, as long as it is like a separate entity of the main It books.
It would be actually cool. Like, it would be nice to see, not necessarily a prequel. Like, I don't really need to see like the origins of it, because they kind of did a small part of that in the movie already. But it would be nice to see like previous cycles. Like if they did like the 1700s
and like other kinds of people battling him and like how
right, and how they failed.
Yeah, like in the article, like they were talking about how like he spans for so, like he's been there for so long, and then that's like stories on stories that they can totally dive in,
right,
take the mythology out and kind of like make it into a film.
Yeah.
So we could get like some spin-off sort of prequel, not necessarily an origin movie, but like a before the Losers Club. You know, there were these people that he was really battling or something.
I feel like they could easily name it like Pennywise, like the dancing clown
Or something. Yeah. Just
and then just kind of show the origin of how Pennywise started, not necessarily it.
It's gonna be like the Joker.
Yeah.
Joker.
That's funny.
That'd be cool.
Pennywise origin movie. Also played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Joker next month. Wait for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Another clown that we are for sure gonna
be awesome.
discuss and everything.
It's the year of clowns.
It's the year of clowns, dude. Pure hype, man. But yeah, Pennywise, he's one of the best horror movie monsters antagonists to have come out in like the last few years. Like, and especially because coupled with Bill Skarsgård and everything, like he just does such a phenomenal job. Like there's a scene in the movie that really caught my eye, and it's the scene where the little girl, she's like at the football game or something.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes.
She goes into the bleachers and she has like this interaction with Pennywise, and it's like the things he say, his facial expressions, like you gotta keep in mind like he chose the clown persona for a reason. You know what I mean? It's to allure the kids, it's kind of like draw them in. And you know, she knows, she's like, oh, I shouldn't talk to a stranger. But he's like, oh, I wanted to be your friend. I guess I'll just go and hide. You know, it was like
Hey, that was pretty good. Yeah.
And you know, like she's like, oh, he's a sad clown, and they start talking about her birthmark, and he's like, oh, I'll just blow that right away. And then she goes in, and then jump.
Yeah, I love the callback to the first movie with that scene.
Yeah, reminded us of the Georgie scene.
Yeah.
Not that I like kids being eaten or anything, awesome. But I like to see that in the movie there's nothing holding them back. Like they murdered children.
Yeah.
Pennywise. Awesome.
You're getting way too excited about kids being eaten, man. This guy is twisted. He's a sicko.
It's Delirium Hour.
It is Delirium Hour.
It's Delirium Hour. And I guess if you're not a sicko, then you shouldn't be watching this video anyway. So yeah. You gotta be a sicko to enjoy horror movies. I mean, that's my philosophy to an extent, you know? Yeah. So
we're part of society too.
Right.
Yeah. We matter. Sicko lives matter. All right. Let's talk about transitions. The transition game.
They worked really hard on transitions in this movie.
God, dude, it's
one transition that really stood out to me was like
it was the jigsaw puzzle thing.
Yeah,
the puzzle one.
It went into
the puzzle one was really cool.
The stars like came out to be puzzle pieces underneath, and it transitioned to
that was cool.
I didn't know where it was going. They tilted up into the black sky.
Yeah, I was like, those stars look a little weird.
Yeah.
Here's a transition coming. I bet you.
There was like a hole in the sky in the shape of a jigsaw puzzle, and then it goes through the puzzle, and then you see that it's like a jigsaw puzzle on a table or something.
I actually
it was insane.
Like the fact that I didn't realize it until now too, but so when that scene happens in the transition, the puzzle piece is missing, and it kind of zooms into Stan, right?
Yeah.
And Stanley's the missing puzzle piece.
Oh.
And remember how he picks up the puzzle? He doesn't finish it because he gets a phone call, right? So he was the missing piece of the puzzle.
Oh my god, dude.
And it was an unfinished puzzle.
That is some good directing.
I literally just thought about that right now. I didn't realize because it was like when I was watching the movie, I was like, just finish the fucking puzzle, man. Finish the puzzle.
Man, I feel like
and he didn't finish it.
I'm sure the movie had a lot of those moments throughout.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Definitely worth a second watch.
Oh yeah.
Definitely worth a second watch. I would sit down again to watch 3 hours of that movie.
Yeah. I mean, like where it kind of lacks in plot I mean, and when I say that, like, I thoroughly enjoyed the first part, the very first act, and that final act. Well, we'll get to the third act later, but the first act with the reunion, and you see like your very first time being introduced to like these older incarnations of the Losers Club. Like, it was great up until like when they reunite. It was heartwarming. Like, you love to see them like connect again and start remembering again. Third act was great. It was a second act that lost to me. But my point is, plot aside, we have Bill Skarsgård. That was such a great aspect of the film, and we had like, it was just, the movie was just so visually stunning with the transitions, with the lighting, and maybe it's because we watched it in Dolby.
Yeah,
like,
Dolby was definitely the best thing we could have done.
Oh yeah,
watching it in Dolby was just an entire experience altogether.
Oh, yeah. That was our first time too, and life changing.
Oh man, I want to watch every movie in Dolby now. That's insane.
Especially horror movies, because
it's so good. Like, I had like the most, like, the biggest grin on my face when the sister rumbled. I'm like, oh my god, this is the future. The way of the future. The way of the future.
The way of the future.
The way of the future.
Dude, you remember how in the first movie, it's the dad and he's trying to get in and then Beverly smashes him, but she's behind the shower curtain? Remember how Eddie stabs
Bowers?
Bauer, yes. Bowers.
Speaking of Bowers was like not needed.
Yeah,
in this movie,
thought Bowers was
right?
gonna have a bigger role. I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, now he's like a psycho killer and stuff, but like nothing happened.
Like, viewers take everything we say with a grain of salt because we didn't. None of us read the book, so we don't know. You know, like, if Bowers was in the book, he was super important. But just the way it was executed in the film, and we're only talking about the film, he was just like, he's just there. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's like, oh, who's that other serial killer? Michael Myers. Yeah.
I had a couple of like,
what are you doing back?
Okay. Comparing him to Michael Myers. Michael Myers.
I had some Michael Myers.
No, because like he was like in jail and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I kind of figured. Because then I looked at it and it was like some callbacks, like he has a knife, or not callbacks, but like, I guess homages to Michael Myers. Yeah. Like, he has a knife. He's in a psych ward. He escapes. A little crazy. He has like a stockier build now, which is like Michael Myers. And then he got stabbed like 5 times by Eddie and didn't die. That's also kind of like a Michael Myers thing. But I don't know.
But for the most part, like, you know, like he got called back by Pennywise. You know what I mean? And like, he had the cool scene. Like, you get to see his dead friend back in the car and everything. I mean, that was awesome. But it's just like the way it was set up. You thought he was gonna have a much bigger presence, and he's like he's just crazy. Like, compared to his character in the very first movie. In the first movie, you kind of loved to hate him because he was just such a nasty kid. Yeah. And this one, he's just batshit. I'm sorry. he's just a loon. You know what I mean? And
that kind of leads me to like why the movie wasn't like that scary, I guess, because Pennywise as a threat, he wasn't very threatening, I guess.
Not as much as the first one, but you gotta keep in mind that they're all adults now.
Right.
That dynamic is totally different. Exactly. You know, that totally plays into why like It Chapter 2 may not have been as scary as the first one.
I mean, it'll still probably be scary for like some people.
Oh yeah, I mean, but to like,
I thought it was more funny than scary.
Oh, it was a good time.
Like there was some old gags. Lady. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah. there were some gags like throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like the running joke of terrible endings and everything. Like it's you can tell that they definitely tried to make it more funny. And you know, like, love or hate it, it was funny. So I dig it. All right, let's talk about the third act.
When does the third act start? When they go down?
I feel like I would say that's the beginning of the third act for sure. When they're trying to do the ritual.
Clown. Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Let's kill this fucking clowns. That part though, like, it was funny, but small nitpick. Like, they kind of played on the fact that like, he didn't remember what he said, but he was like what, like 11 or 9?
Could you guys hear that? No, I'm sorry.
It's cool.
But like, it's even more BS that he remembered that he said, "Good thing we're not comparing dicks." I'm like, how do you remember that? That's like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? No, let's kill this fucking clown. I remember that.
11, like 27, right?
No, sorry, not when he was 11. Yeah, when he was 11, 27 years ago.
When he was 11,
yeah. Plot, story purposes.
How do you guys remember? I don't even remember what I ate yesterday.
We had Taco Bell yesterday. Oh wait, no, that wasn't yesterday. That was the other day.
That wasn't yesterday, huh?
Day before yesterday. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. But you know what though, like back to the third act. Okay, if you stuck through and you pushed on through the dragged out middle, like I'm talking about, it was dragged out, formulaic.
Yeah.
Then you finally get to the house, they finally go back to the well house and everything, and that
that's when the shit's gonna go down.
Oh, it went down. And Jonah over here, he summed up perfectly after the movie. He went out and he was like, that was epic. And that final act to me was just epic.
It felt like, how we have been having so much like ending movies like Endgame earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like It Chapter 2.
Oh yeah.
Like the epic
Yes, sir.
movie, but like the horror epic this year.
Horror epic, yeah. It was great. Yeah, it was crazy. We got spiral eggs, we got rocks, we got bathroom with blood.
I really enjoyed like how they killed him, because then it was like like the ritual process. It was like the battle of their wills.
Right.
Yeah, I really like that.
You know that balloon was practical? The one that...
It was a huge balloon.
No. That one was CG, obviously. But the one where he was like trying to close it, that was practical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Wow, that was well done then. Yeah.
Just a balloon.
I gotta say, Pennywise got like a more vulnerable ego than even I do. Because like they were just kind of like bullying him. And he was just, like,
that's one thing too. I was going to talk about it when we eventually got to the third act.
Yeah.
But I was really let down by... So Richie's like the roast master in this movie.
Yeah.
And then they're all bullying him, and I really thought Richie was gonna get up and just roast his ass.
Yeah.
But then he didn't. He got up and rips off his arm and doesn't say a single word.
Yeah,
I'm like, he couldn't even say like...
Anyone else could have done that.
Maybe he was just so shook by Eddie dying. Oh man,
Eddie.
But
I love that Eddie faced his fear.
Yeah, he did.
He stood up to Pennywise.
Hey.
He threw
props to Eddie.
his
Shout out to
fire
Eddie one
sticky
time.
thing.
His fire sticky thing?
What, I don't know what you call
What?
that.
Oh yeah, it's just like a piece of the fence.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up.
So in conclusion, the film was really enjoyable,
Mhm.
and if you like the first one, you probably already seen this one, or you have to go see this one.
Yeah, you might as well, right?
Yeah, you have to.
But
Like,
yeah, right.
Like, I really enjoyed the story that, as a whole, the two movies put together, and yeah, go see it. What do you think, Miss Geb?
I mean, like, I totally agree. Like, I like the movie. The movie had its flaws, 100%. It was not as scary as the first one, and the first one still has a bigger place in my heart. But it's the original. Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of sequels are ever gonna beat the original for me. Like, that's a hard thing to do. But that being said, it was a worthy sequel. Long, yes, but Pennywise was awesome. The plot, I mean, you got to see the losers grown up, kick some butt, and like that was good and visually stunning. So definitely agree. I mean, definitely recommend, watch it. A- if anything. Baron?
Yeah. Definitely watch the movie. Worth a watch. It's 3 hours long, but it's a good ending to the story that they introduced in the first one.
Yeah.
We give it the thumbs up. Delirium Hour gives it the thumbs of approval.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
All right, so let's end this thing.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all from us.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Tune in.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We don't know when
Or
our next
don't.
video will be, but just check every day.
Yeah, but seriously, if leave us a comment what you thought about the movie and what you thought about our video.
Yeah, if you have any comments,
Comment.
or remarks, definitely throw them in the comment box below.
For sure.
Yeah, this was Delirium Hour, and we'll see you next time.
Signing off. Lights.